The Ministry of Health has refused a Far North District Council's request to delay the fluoridation of two of its town water supplies, leaving the council scrambling to meet a deadline that is now less than a week away. The council's been ordered to start adding fluoride to its Kaitaia and Kerikeri water supplies by June 30. And during a council meeting a few months back, elected members resolved to ask the Ministry of Health for an extension to the deadline. The meeting was attended by a large contingent of anti-fluoride campaigners who applauded councillors' 9-1 vote. Now, a number of other councils around the country had already been granted extensions ranging from 3 to 9 months. Now, in the past, decisions about whether to fluoridate was left to individual councils, but that changed in 2021 when a new law shifted responsibility to the Ministry of Health. So then in 2022, then Director General of Health, Sir Ashley Bloomfield, ordered 14 councils around the country, including the Far North, to fluoridate some or all of their public water supplies. So that's just to give you a little kind of update, fill in on why councils are doing it or not doing it. Joining me now from the New Zealand Dental Association is Rob Beaglehole. Hello, Rob.
Oh, kia ora, Leah.
Nice to have you on. Thank you for your time. Now, I'm not going to ask you to wade into the Far North District Council's request to delay it because that's what they're working through. But I want to talk more about the effectiveness of adding fluoride to water. How important in your mind is it?
Well, the Dental Association is guided by the science and evidence, and we overwhelmingly support community water fluoridation, particularly because there's great evidence that it significantly reduces tooth decay with people that are drinking fluoridated water, particularly children.
Well, actually, yeah, so the benefits are showing up, isn't there? That the number of people with tooth decay, especially for the kids, are better in fluoridated areas than others, would you say?
Well, yes, there's actually a dramatic difference. The latest data suggests that there's a 40% difference between kids who are drinking fluoridated water compared to those who are not drinking fluoridated water. And 40% is a very significant amount.
It is. And, I mean, so I said before in my setup there, approximately half of New Zealanders have access to fluoridated drinking water. Do you understand why some Kiwis maybe don't want it? Do they just not understand it? Do you think?
Well, I think there's a variety of reasons. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but also in terms of trying to understand it, it can be quite a complicated science. But I think for your listeners, the main thing that fluoride does is it actually makes teeth more resistant to attack by the acid that bugs excrete. So if you have sugar, the sugar gets converted into acid by the bugs, and it's acid that actually eats into the tooth. So the fluoride from the water actually strengthens the teeth, and it also sort of attacks the bacteria itself, and then it also makes the tooth more resistant to attack. And this is quite significant because tooth decay is a major problem in New Zealand, actually particularly in the Far North. We know that the decay rates are higher in the Far North compared to other areas around the country. We also know that it's a major equity issue. If you're Māori, you are way more likely to have tooth decay than non-Māori. So the Dental Association is deeply concerned about this inequality. We're also deeply concerned about the unnecessary pain and suffering that occurs on a day-to-day basis here in New Zealand because of the lack of fluoridated water.
I mean, it's horrible. I've seen. I've read many stories about children who still have their baby teeth, having to have extractions, and under 5, 4 having all their teeth pulled out.
It's horrendous. I mean, I've taken out multiple teeth from young children, as young as 18 months, still in nappies. So it's heartbreaking when you take teeth out, and it is actually the number one reason children in New Zealand and in Northland go to hospital to get admitted to have their teeth taken out under general anaesthetic. And I've taken out tens of thousands of teeth over my career, and it's disheartening.
Rob, can I ask then? We've got an 18-month-old, 2-year-old child having all their teeth pulled out. I'm struggling to understand why the parent doesn't understand. Is it a mixture of they don't understand in 2024 how to brush teeth?
Well,
what's the reasoning here?
There's lots of reasons, but unfortunately, poverty is probably the number one reason for tooth decay.
But can't you buy a toothbrush even when you're poor?
Oh look, I've seen families come to see me at the hospital, with a young single mum, 5 kids, 1 toothbrush for the whole family, can't afford the toothpaste.
Oh my gosh!
The problem about poverty is that it's so entrenched in New Zealand, and even the cost, $3 or $4 cost of a toothbrush. You've got 5 kids. That's a lot of money to come out of the weekly bank balance.